for it. All right, here we go with another Bulldogs in the workforce this week. Always trying to improve our college and career readiness from Lamar's Community High School, where we talk to former graduates of Lamar's community about their careers and their journeys after high school. So today we're very lucky to have Jacob Manley with us. Jacob is a 2020 graduate of Lamar's Community High School. He graduated during the COVID year, which was unforgettable for all of us. So we're very lucky to have Jacob with us. Jacob currently works for Lamar's EMS and also is a firefighter here in Lamar. So he's going to talk to us today about a career in EMS as well as being a firefighter. So Jacob, first of all, if you could talk to us a little bit about your experience going through Lamar's community schools, as well as the high school and kind of what you did and what you were involved in, that would be great. So kind of tell us about your experiences going to school in Lamar's.
Yeah, I had a good experience. All throughout high school, I kind of wanted to go the route of doing like something pre-med or something like that. That was always kind of my goal, was to be a doctor. And I think a lot of kids always kind of talk about that and stuff like that. But I really did want to do that. And that was something that I truly did want to do. And I was actually, up until my senior year, that was 100% my plan. I was going to go to the University of Nebraska in Lincoln. I was committed to go there. I even had a roommate and everything. And then I did the EMT class my senior year, the fall semester.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually wasn't going to do it. So they were advertising for it the end of junior year. And I remember thinking, I don't know if I really want to do that. That doesn't really sound like something I'm interested in. But I had three of my friends that were going to do it. And they're like, hey, you should do this with us. And I kind of thought about it, like, I don't know. And then I ended up doing it. And I'm really glad that I did, because it truly did change my life. It changed everything. My whole trajectory after that was completely different. And it brought me to where I am now. And I'm very happy with where I'm at now. And I have a lot of good people around me. So it worked out really well. I was obviously involved in the EMT class. I played tennis for most of my high school career. Played football freshman year, didn't really do much of it after that. I really spent a lot of time on school. I really enjoyed school. I took it very seriously.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's great. Yeah, and it's kind of funny how sometimes life changes and we don't, we kind of sometimes go down a different path than what we had anticipated. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
if you'd have told me like 6 years ago that this is what I'd be doing, I probably wouldn't believe you, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that's what many of us will also say. Yeah, very interesting. Um, so what kind of made you, want to pursue EMS, for your career?
Well, like I said, I took that EMT class, and I really fell in love with just being on the ambulances and getting to do what I did there. And then I kind of got, like we talked about the COVID year, I kind of got to see it from two perspectives: one as a student and as a civilian, and then one also on the healthcare side of it. So actually, I was working for the most of that spring semester, from like the end of February until all throughout the COVID kind of era of healthcare. So I got to see a very interesting side that a lot of people really didn't get to see, especially in high school.
Yeah.
So that was very interesting, and I really just fell in love with the job and emergency medicine. It was something that I felt like I was good at, and I had some very good mentors. John McGregor was one of my mentors. He really pushed me to excel at the job, and he was very good at it, and I wanted to be like him. So I pushed very hard for that as well. And then in May of 2020, when I was kind of deciding, do I want to go to college? Mike Wise, he was then the ambulance director for Lamar's. He came to me and said, do you want to go to paramedic school? We'll pay for it and all this. I can't promise you a full-time job afterwards, but there's a likely chance of it. And I kind of just took a leap and took his hand, and they guided me along, and I'm very glad that I did that.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, good stuff there. Yeah, and the importance of having mentors, and finding people, to guide you. God, that's so important, so important. So I'm glad you mentioned that, Jacob. Yeah, that's good stuff. So what certifications do you have in EMS?
I'm a paramedic. I went through the School of EMS in Sioux Falls. It's about a year-long course.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I first started it, John McGregor, that guy I was talking about, he he kind of goes, it's like trying to drink through a fire hose. It's a lot of information all at once, and
Hmm.
that's absolutely true. And I'm very glad that I took my high school education seriously because those study habits carried over 100%.
Yeah.
And like writing papers, all that stuff, it carried over. It does make a
Yeah. Well said.
difference with
Yeah. Yeah. Well said
how
for
you.
sure.
And then I'm also a certified firefighter level 1 and level 2.
Hmm.
I have my hazmat technician level, so I can wear the big suits and go inside hazmat environments. And then
Hmm.
I've also got my neonatal resuscitation program certification, pre-hospital trauma life support, advanced medical life support certification. Um, let's see, I have advanced cardiac life support certification, and then I also have a pediatric advanced life support certification.
Wow. Impressive. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. Good for you. In achieving all those certifications. Yeah. That's great. Um, so what are the best parts of working in EMS, and also what are some of the more challenging parts of working in EMS?
I think some of the best parts is a lot of times I get to see people and see like different things on usually what's one of the worst day of their lives and hopefully brings some comfort to them.
Hmm.
It's very rewarding in that aspect of,
Hmm.
you truly get to make a difference usually every day with somebody, whether it's something that you think is pretty minor, it might not be very minor to them. It might be kind of life shattering or life changing.
Hmm.
Going to calls on Christmas Eve or Christmas or a holiday, and somebody's very distraught, and then when you get there, they kind of you can see them take that breath of air, and they just calm down. It's very rewarding in that sense.
Yeah.
One of the more challenging aspects I'd say is also dealing with families. It's very emotionally challenging. You have
Hmm.
to be compassionate. A lot of times, even if you're having a bad day, you can't really go somewhere and treat them poorly. It just doesn't look good, and you
Hmm.
don't want to do that to somebody's family that's having a
Right.
really bad day.
Yeah.
The other thing I'd say that's sometimes challenging is getting up throughout the night. Some nights we might not have any calls, but then other nights we might have 5 calls after midnight. It
Hmm.
goes like that, and that's one of the challenging aspects of it. But I still love it. It's still a great job, and
Hmm.
sometimes I don't even call it a job. I just call it having fun with a lot of the guys here. These
Yeah.
guys are like my family. So.
That's great. Yeah, that's great to hear. Yeah. Yeah. So you enjoy the people you work with then as well.
Oh, absolutely. We got a great group of people here,
Yep.
uh, all very well knowledge, really good at what they do, enjoy the work that they do. It's a good time.
Good. Good. That's great to hear. A couple more questions here for you, Jacob. First, so what qualities or skills are needed to be involved in EMS, in your opinion?
I'd say somebody who's honorable, has integrity. Um,
Mhm.
we go into a lot of people's houses and they expect us to take care of their house or not to move things around, stuff like that. Just have basic integrity and um, some leadership qualities of being a good leader.
Mhm.
A lot of times as the paramedic, I'm the top guy on the scene in a sense, where basically all the decisions come from me and I pass those down to the people that are there also. So you have to be
Mhm.
able to kind of have that leadership, command, presence on scene of this is what I want and you got to do what I want. And so
Mhm. Yep.
also have good knowledge, have good studying skills. This is an ever changing field, especially with emergency medicine. Emergency medicine's always changing. There's always some new research report to read or some new skill to learn. Just always be chasing that knowledge. Always be
Yes.
chasing a goal. That's what
Love
I
it.
try to say is,
Yep.
always have something to chase after.
Love it. Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Um, yeah, that's those. I think those are some pretty good qualities to have.
Yeah. Great. Great. So last question then, Jacob. So what advice would you give current students right now who are young and thinking that they want to go into EMS as well? So what advice, tips, suggestions would you give?
Number one, I'd say even if you feel like it's not a very big deal in high school, take it seriously. So take math seriously, take everything seriously. Do it. If you got homework, do it. Because I always did all the homework and then I always felt like I was super prepared for all the tests. And like I
Mhm.
said earlier, that carried over into stuff I even do after. you know, postgraduate education and all that stuff. So that stuff does carry over.
Mhm.
Another thing, just kind of be outgoing. If you want to stop by the fire station here, you're going to stop down in Sioux City somewhere, wherever you're at, stop by and talk to the people there. They'll be more than happy to show you around, talk to you about the career,
Yeah.
anything. They'll tell you about anything, really.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's great, Jacob. Obviously very honorable profession, and you're really making a difference in the lives of others each day. So, we appreciate what you're doing, and it's great to see you even right here, locally, making a difference. I see you out and about around town, and I think, it gives us a sense of pride too, to know that you're a graduate, and you're doing big things, in helping others. So, keep that up. So it's been great to see. So
Thank you. I appreciate it.
you bet. All right. Well, that was, Jacob Manley, class of 2020 here at Lamar's, talking about his career in EMS. And again, the EMT course here at the high school, can lead to something like this. And if you're interested in that, you can always stop by and talk to us in the guidance office, and we can tell you more about it. But it's great to hear from someone who's living it each day, and that's why we're appreciative of Jacob here and his time with us today. So, thanks again, Jacob, and we'll definitely, see you around town and keep making a difference, in the lives of others. All
Yes, sir.
right.
Thank you very much for having me on. Appreciate it.
You bet. You bet. So that was another episode of Bulldogs in the Workforce. Always trying to improve, college and career readiness from Lamar's Community High School.